Hello everyone, welcome to the Minecraft Survivor Season 5 Kinabalu cast assessment. I'm your host Kyle, and I will be assessing the cast and comparing them to previous players. First off, on the Kinabalu tribe, Spaniel. Spaniel's someone who I think will definitely be underestimated in this season.
I think that I'm probably the youngest person in the cast at 13, and I really hope that doesn't turn into a disadvantage for me in the game, because people often stereotype me as like annoying, obnoxious, and dumb, which I want to disprove.
His application was one of the most well thought out, and he proved that he knows this game. But he could be seen as the easy vote off and taken off because of it. He reminds me of Caleb when he was younger in Season 1, a young player that could be seen as no threat or an easy vote, but has a great grip on reality. Next up is Sting. Sting is nothing short of a storyteller. He's hilarious, everyone loves him, and he's easy to get along with. He really is the golden boy of the cast, and if people don't recognize him as a big threat early game, he could make it far.
Well, I usually play the game by, getting people, on my side. Trying not to be too big of a threat, because I'll usually, if I'm too big of a threat, I'll usually go home pretty early merge.
He reminds me of a lot of Echo from Season 3, a hard-to-miss character who you will love to be seeing every episode. Next up is Asher. Asher is probably the most calm and collected person on the entire cast. He doesn't talk a lot, but when he decides to, he gives crucial and insightful information. He's someone that won't burn bridges easily and keeps strong connections. Asher can really do well in this game as long as he doesn't let others dictate the game he's
I
playing.
think I can make a lot of moves kind of behind the scenes by cleaning out other people, but not become a target myself as long as I don't screw up a challenge or something.
I think a lot of Jerry when I see Asher. He keeps his cards close to his chest and knows how to get the information he wants out of people. Jam, on first glance, is just a lovable goofball. He'll talk on and you can't help but listen to him. He's one of the most cheery people I've met, and he was so ecstatic when he learned he would play this season. The only thing that could get in Jam's way may be in his own mouth, and if he makes too many friends and gives away too much information.
I'm actually here, it was really oh my god. But then initially after that, I toned it down a bit. I was a bit okay, it's real, game face on, I've got to do this. It's just it's almost surreal in a sense, but definitely just going through my head, I'm already sizing people up.
Jam reminds me of Flashy from Season 3. He's strong and proud and knows how to advance his game. Mario was someone who came out of left field. He might be the most educated person on the entire cast, but he conceals it and acts like he's no different than anyone else. That being said, Mario is someone who, when riled up, may blow up a few people's games and his own if he doesn't watch himself.
I don't see myself as being a floater. I see myself as actively participating in conversations that dictate how the game runs.
He reminds me a lot of Chris when he won the Arctic. He doesn't know anyone, but he really could become a big threat and win this game from a strategic standpoint. Oh, Vision. He's played this game before, and the first time he made a few critical errors.
I have my idol.
What is going on?
This is not a hidden immunity idol, which means all votes for Vision do count. Faction, please bring your torch. Faction Vision, your tribe has spoken. But it has been 3 years, and Vision has matured and learned the game a lot, but could still be underestimated based off his previous season.
So, in Season 2, I had an egg, which I can't remember if I knew it was an idol or not, but I had an egg, and I basically acted like it was an idol and tried to get people not to vote me. And it turns out Chris gave me the egg or something.
And he could use that to his advantage. That being said, Vision is still the loud, entertaining character he has always been. Miller. Everyone knows Miller is a good player with a smart head on his shoulders. He knows strategy better than most, and he was playing better than most of the players in his first season. But he was taken out by a twist. Double eviction. Miller. Please bring me forward. I'm sorry, Miller, that you had to be on the back end of the twist, but that's how it happened. You have been eliminated from this game in 7th place. Miller can really dominate this game if he doesn't get too antsy and try to play too hard off too quickly.
Time I played, I was a little bit apathetic. I wasn't in the right mindset. But now, going into this game, I'm ready to play hard. I'm ready to prove myself as a player. And I'm ready to cause some chaos.
And on the Maneuver tribe, Masterfi. Masterfi, although not young, has this youthful aura around him that makes people really gravitate to him as a player in person. When talking to him, I feel like I can trust him, and the cast will probably feel the same way. You could play a social game that reminds you of Muffin, that lets other people tell him all the information he needs and control that to make the moves.
I'm really excited to hopefully meet a lot of new people, and I think that this will be one of the best seasons, not to toot my own horn, but I think that, you know, this will actually be an interesting season where everyone will be playing for them.
Manuel is one of the most socially aware people I've ever met in my life. He knows exactly what to say when he needs to say it. He knows who's loyal to him and who isn't, and if he isn't deemed a threat early on, he might run the game for a long time.
But like, I actually have to try and make social connections very early on, because like, if we're the first tribe eliminated, or the first tribe to go to immunity, to lose immunity, like we're gonna be choosing people that we've rarely met. So I don't want to make a bad impression.
Manuel reminds me of a harder playing alto. He has all the social skills necessary to win this game, and if he forms a strong alliance, he could win the entire thing. Tim was the person that seemed the most excited to play this game. He applied really early despite not knowing anyone. He bought a mic just for the season and told me days in advance how ready he was to play.
I feel I'm excited to play. I'm incredibly nervous because I mean, I could very easily just be the first one out. I don't want to be the first one out. I want to be interesting. I don't want to be boring.
Tim has showed that he has his head in the game, and I see him as a player similar to Sky. He might not have an over-the-top strategic game, but he knows his allies and could go very far with them. Bayback is the definition of a professional when it comes to playing this game. He's insanely intelligent, he knows how to form good alliances, and he is no flop in the challenges either. Bayback is definitely someone who could take the game over if he doesn't overplay.
At the moment, I'm looking around and I'm seeing a few people who are recognized from the community, but I'm seeing a lot that I don't recognize, and a lot of people might find that a bit daunting. They like to have that familiarity, seeing people who they like, but for me, I think it's amazing. I love playing with new people, getting to see new gameplay, and for me, I find it a bit representative of the split. Like, we get a new generation of new players who we haven't seen before, and we get to see these new stories and these new games arise, and it's going to be fun.
Like Dizzy, I feel he could either go all the way to the end or unluckily get out very early. One of the more interesting people in the cast, Chris had one of the most unique applications. He has experience with Survivor, but he has never done something quite like this. His intelligence is mainly presented through his way of dealing with other people, and if he plays his cards right, he could go far.
My name is Chris. I'm 22. I'm from Long Island, and I work in retail. I took off today for this, so I have to make this worth it, otherwise I'm losing money for no reason.
He reminds me of Vega with better management and self-control. He's confident and will stand his ground, but those same things might be his downfall. Oh, Bun Boy. Bun Boy can best be explained as entertaining. He isn't a hard game player, but he's a very extravagant and lovable character. People may want to take him further because he will say what everyone's thinking, and he may just make some big moves because he isn't scared about being reckless. 5th vote, Bun Boy. That's 3 votes Bun Boy, 2 votes Dawson, 1 vote left. First person voted out of Minecraft Survivor Season 3, the Arctic, Bun Boy. Please bring me your torch. Bun Boy, the tribe has spoken.
And I've taken some time off, doing some things on my own. And I'm back. I'm ready for this. I'm determined to not get out first. I've been training a ton.
And finally, Gamer. Gamer is back and he's here to play the game hard. His last season he went out to rocks, and this season he's told me he wants to play with the same mindset. If you get the green, you're still in the game. If you get red, you are out.
Oh my god, okay.
I'm sorry, Gamer.
Oh, realistically,
for sure winning.
Self-landing.
For sure winning.
He doesn't want to back down from challenges. But like the rest of the returnees, the biggest advantage and disadvantage in this game for him is being a returnee, and maneuvering that will determine how well he does. That is your last look into the Survivor players, the cast for this season. Make sure you put your hashtag team in the comment section below to tell us who you're rooting for, who you like, and tell us exactly why. Next time, you will see episode 1. I am super excited to get it out for you guys, and we'll see you in the Kinabalu.